Friends, I need to issue this warning. I don't know why our government agencies are not issuing this warning themselves. They're too focused in on people who wear red hats, apparently, to actually warn you about a danger that is happening right now and is on the horizon right now. We're seeing the conflict over in Israel and in Gaza between the Palestinians as well as the Israelis, and I know a lot of you are feeling like that is happening on the other side of the world and will not affect us. Almost half of the world's population of Jewish people live inside the United States. What is happening is a well-orchestrated plan is unfolding. A PR campaign, a militant campaign, and mark my words, when Hezbollah and when Iran are chanting death to America, they mean it. When they talk about death to Israel, they mean it. But I know a lot of people don't want to take them at their word. These people absolutely mean it. And the fact is that Iran has long said that they have been able to infiltrate many agents into the United States. You just see some of these protests around the country that are happening right now, and you see that this conflict is stirring deep emotions here inside the United States. Now, while a lot of people see the conflict over in Eastern Europe and ask some questions, which we're not allowed to do, just asking some questions like, is that really the best use of our money? And did we kind of start this thing? There really isn't a strong, passionate group or communities inside the United States that are absolutely for bear country over there. There really aren't. But in this conflict happening in the Middle East right now, there are many communities inside the United States that are absolutely 100% behind the people that did this. You are seeing them out there protesting, waving flags. You see all these people that have no ethnic connection whatsoever to this, but they went to college and their professor told them what to think, and so they're out there waving flags and talking about how they're just defending themselves and all this kind of stuff like that. Those people are dangerous, but there are even more dangerous people inside the United States. There are people who are agents of Iran and agents of these other countries that are absolutely against us and a part of these networks. They have been preparing and planning attacks for a very long time. They haven't really done them yet. Could this be the trigger for some of those plans and attacks to move forward? Very possibly. Intelligence states that Iran is very close to having a nuclear weapon, and that could be playing into this as well. We were told that last week in Beirut, Iran gave the thumbs up to Hamas, Hezbollah, Islamic Jihad, and others. Only Hamas has moved. Why are the others waiting? You must see this and be concerned. There's a reason why half of the Israeli troops are moving north to the border with Lebanon, because they see and they understand that this is not just a conflict with Hamas in Gaza. Troops are moving to the West Bank as well. They are concerned about this being a total campaign. And half of the Jews in the entire world live here in the United States. When Iran is out there chanting death to America, death to Israel, you need to take them a little bit at their word. This is important for us to do. They have been and continue to threaten the United States of America, and for us to say that conflict's happening over there, it's not going to affect us, is a lot of the hubris that we have been living in for a very long time, that we can fiddle around, we can mess around with everyone in the world, we can sell weapons and give weapons to whoever we want in the world, and it will never come back to hit us here at home. We tell ourselves as Americans that people die overseas, they don't die here. And when that reality comes home to us, it seems so very foreign. And yet you have to realize that we have whole industries that create weapons to kill people. And we send them overseas with the intention that they will be used for that very purpose. Friends, many countries around the world, particularly one of a religious persuasion, Islam, have been on the receiving end of the United States manipulations for a very long time, and they are very upset about it, and there are a large amount of them here in this country. There are whole communities in Michigan and in other places where the communities are basically being run as if they are in the Middle East. And there are people there who are so passionate and adamantly connected on an ideological level with the people that Israel is about to launch a ground invasion against. Be aware that we are waiting for the next shoe to drop. Hezbollah is holding its breath and waiting for something. And I think a lot of people kind of get it, and I think even Israel understands this, is that when they launch that ground invasion into Gaza, they're going to be faced with a media campaign against them that is going to be used to try to gin up support across the Muslim world, even inside the United States. We already see people out there waving flags and being useful idiots. Do you think that will escalate as things go forward? Probably. Probably. Now, war is terrible and war is horrific, and we've already seen what has happened to Israel, but the world is starting to see what the receiving end of these counterstrikes are in Gaza. How much of that is PR? How much of that is spin? How much of that is real? It's, as I said, with the conflict in Eastern Europe, it's hard to know what to believe from any side because so much is spin, so much is generated, so much is it's just out and out lies. And we're facing the same thing now here in the Middle East. There is a PR battle happening. And to say that, oh, well, we support these guys or we support those guys is overly simplistic in some regards. To not see the awful, awful things, the cutting off of water, power, food to Gaza, shutting down and doing airstrikes on all the escape routes out of Gaza, and then pounding the buildings is a level of cynical that is hard to miss. Warning the civilians to flee, but then blowing up the only means that they have of fleeing. Now, it's a lot more complicated than that. Egypt doesn't want these people to come, and by and large won't let them come. So it's not just an Israel thing that, they aren't allowing them to go anywhere, but none of the Muslim countries in the area are willing to let them out either. So it's complicated, I get that, but it's not so cut and dry, and it's not so simple. It's not like, oh, well, these people are just doing humane things. What Israel's doing to Gaza right now is brutal and horrific, and many civilians have died. Is Hamas using the civilians as human shields? Yeah, they are. So when you enter into warfare and you want to start playing scorecards on war crimes, friends, that's just stupid. I mean, it just is. At the end of the war, there's going to be an accounting. There always is. But it's generally going to be counted up by the winners. And that's the truth. And we may not like that. We may not think that is fair or right. and you have the freedom to think that and feel that way. But when we enter into warfare, the rules on violence disappear. And that's what we're seeing over in the Middle East. That's what we're seeing over in Eastern Europe as well. This idea of civilized warfare is unnatural and quite frankly a historical anomaly. There have been situations where that was held up in Europe and such like that, but there was always atrocities. There was always people who went too far. But for the United States and people in the United States and in the UK and in other European countries, Australia, for you to feel like this is happening over there and will not affect you, I think you're going to find in the coming weeks that you are sorely mistaken. I believe we will see atrocities committed on U.S. soil in the coming weeks. So you need to be vigilant. And I don't have any insider information. There has been some talk by one or two senators about how we may see attacks here on the U.S. soil because of so many people that have come across the southern border. I don't think they were referencing any specific intelligence on that either, but it makes sense. We have brought so many people into our country that really aren't all pro-Israel, okay? Some of you in the audience aren't pro-Israel. And you know what? If you are or you aren't, I mean, it's not like it really makes much of a difference in terms of what the United States is doing or what your government is doing. You can put things on your Facebook feed. You can put some flags here or there. You can tell people you support. But I mean, in the end, we really don't really like. What does that mean? How does that really help anyone over there? Does it really? I mean, it makes us feel like we're it's like all the people in the stands cheering the athletes. I mean, you feel like you're part of it, but you're really not. The athletes are making all the decisions. They're the ones actually playing the game. And when it comes to supporting and, this or that faction or group overseas, I mean, it really comes down to what your governments are actually sending weapons and money and all that kind of stuff to. And so who you support and whatever like that. It's an interesting conversation, and I think that it's important for us morally to think through. But that's really just for us and for our friends and such. What's happening around the world is going to happen, and you may be absolutely pro-Palestinian or something like that, and you may be subject or on the receiving end of an attack inside the United States from people who think like you, but way more extreme. So if you're moving into populated areas, be aware of what's going on around you. If you're going to stadiums, if you're going to church, be more vigilant. Be more aware, hyper aware of what's going on around you. Be the protectors of the people around you if you have the capability to do that. Because I fear that this prediction will be borne out in the coming weeks, that these type of attacks may come closer to home, whether in the United States or Canada or the UK or someplace in the West that's outside of the nation of Israel. I think we may see these type of attacks. So please be careful. Watch out for yourself. Watch out for your families. Watch out for the people around you. All right, folks, if you guys have any information along those lines, please do pass that along. If you have information from your workplaces about shortages and things that are happening, please pass those along as well. We thank you so much for watching and being part of this community. Please stay safe out there. Please be praying for the people of Israel and praying for your nation as well as the people that you know. Thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.